Hello everyone, welcome to this week's track guide. I'm back from my races and super excited to have downloaded the new combinations for the GTSPORT, the latest update, the new track combinations. Sardegna, I'm trying Sardegna B here, and I'm within a second of the current European record. So that's my policy. When I'm within a second, I do a track guide. Now, because this is a new one for everybody, it's not so easy to learn out the box. I've spent about 45 minutes here, and I figured that I'll just do a slightly different track guide to normal, and that is teaching you how to learn new tracks so that you can learn tracks quicker, and if you apply sort of these fundamentals, that you don't necessarily need track guides all the time. Obviously, in real life, when you go to a new track, you don't have the opportunity to do 10,000 laps of the track, especially in GT racing. If you're the pro in the car, you'll be lucky if you get 10 laps or 15 laps before qualifying, and that's even for a new track. So, for example, in a couple of days' time, I go to Zandvoort. I've never driven there before, and I know that I'm probably going to get 10 laps before qualifying, and I'm going to be expected to be on the pace within 6 of those 10 laps, so it's going to be fun. So how do you learn a new track? What are the fundamentals that you look for? So first of all, you need to understand the car that you're in. In this case, we're in a GT3 car, effectively. I'm in a Ferrari 458, and GT3 cars like to do sort of, they're good at braking, they're good at accelerating, they're not so great at cornering. So you've got to maximize the braking points, and you've got to maximize the acceleration points and minimize the amount of time that you're turning the car. Generally, GT3 cars like to brake at 100 meters, so you can start by braking initially at 120 meter marks for tight corners, and then building it up from there. Then you can also use the gears more effectively. So let's say, for example, this corner here is second gear. Okay, but to learn the track, you don't want a snappy car, so start in higher gears. So if it's a second gear corner, first learn it in third gear, because in third gear you're going to get less snap oversteer, and it's going to be a little bit smoother to drive. You're going to have more understeer, and understeer is a little bit it's easier to learn a track when you have understeer than oversteer, because when all you're trying to do is manage the car and is trying to stop it from killing you, you want it to be as smooth as possible, and the higher gears help. The next thing you want to do is you want to avoid hitting the retry button as much as you can. So treat it as if it's real life. If you crash or if you spin, then don't restart the session, just continue driving, reverse and get back on the track in the normal way, and try. This is a good habit in general whenever you're playing a simulator. It's just too easy to hit that restart button. So what you want to do is get into a flow as much as you can, and the only way to get into a flow is to do 5 to 10 lap sessions to learn a track. The next thing you want to do is, and it's probably the first thing you should do, but I forgot to mention it, but you can do it at any point, is actually look at the track layout and try to understand the racing line of the track layout before you start playing the track itself. Once you understand the basic racing lines of the track, it's going to make learning the track much easier. Don't go around and instantly press start and then just do mindless laps and not understanding that a corner is actually a hairpin as opposed to a sort of more open radius corner. So that would affect how early you brake or how late you brake, etc. You also want to avoid curbs as much as you can when you're just starting out. The curbs are there to maximize once you learn the track in more detail. And yeah, that's pretty much my fundamentals. So the first one is braking at 100 meters. Actually, no, the first one is understanding the racing lines. The second one is braking at 100 meters. The third one is using higher gears for corners at the initially, so that you can run smoother through the corners. And yeah, then you just go from there. And the last one is to do as many laps in sequence as possible, because that helps you get into the flow and understand the track better. So avoid that retry button as much as you can. Okay, so let's do an actual track guide of this awesome little racetrack. It's quite tight actually. I like the little gradients. As always, Gran Turismo have done a fantastic job of creating a fantasy track with neat little details that you just don't see in other games when they create fantasy tracks. Okay, so we are now going to approach the final corner. That's a very difficult corner there. It's sort of closing radius. And here also you want to flow through here, set up your lap nice and smooth. You can maximize the curb on the exit, run to the outside of the track, opposite side of the pits, head down the straight, and now let's try do a lap without crashing. David Perel. Braking at 100 meters down to second gear. There's a slight banking in this corner, but it opens up at the exit. It's almost like a 90-degree corner. Flat through the right. You want to go early in here, clip the curb. A little lift will help you with the exit, so you don't understeer towards the exit. Now down to second. Another sort of not 90 degrees, but close enough. You treat it as if it's a 90-degree corner, which means you carry the speed. Roll through here, just clipping the inside curb a little bit, and then getting on the power as early as you can on the exit. Running down the hill now. Easy flat through the left, and another easy flat corner here. Braking at or just after 100 meters. In second gear in the Ferrari, clipping the inside curb. Be careful on the throttle there. And now this is the hardest part. You've got to roll into this double left. Carrying as much speed as you can through the first left-hander. And then small lift through here at the apex. Oopsie, I lifted a little bit late, compromised my exit speed. And then braking early here again. Oh, just a little bit too wide. You want to get a little bit closer to the curb on the entry. It's very difficult to carry the speed through there, but overall pretty decent, really fun track. I hope you found this track guide useful. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you're looking for some coaching, I now offer that in my Patreon page, so patreon.com/David Perel for those of you who are looking for a little bit of coaching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you around the next lap. Cheers.